Hey everybody, Alaska Stock Talk here. It's been a while since I've made a video, so I want to apologize to you guys for that, but I have been very busy lately. I started classes like I mentioned before, and so yeah, I'm very busy. I have a psychology class this semester, which is taking a lot of time. There's a lot of reading and writing to do in that class, and I also uh, I'm doing a fun class this semester, which is kind of cool. It's a drawing class. This is one drawing that I did. It's a drawing of a paint tube. There's a little picture of a paint tube. I've always liked to kind of draw with pencils. Never really got into painting that much, but I really like to draw with pencils. So, yeah, that's that. I know a lot of you didn't come here to kind of learn my personal stuff. You're interested in OCGN, but these are just kind of the videos I want to make where we kind of feel like we're just hanging out, and we're chit chatting, because I feel like a lot of YouTube videos where people just they I don't know. I don't like the fakeness and stuff of a lot of the high production videos where people just kind of seem like robots, and it's all just the same to me. And I've always just liked little like chill vibe stuff, kind of like this. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. If it's too slow paced for you, I don't know. Maybe you can put it on double speed or one and a half speed or something, or just skip ahead to whatever you wanna learn. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. We are, since I am a teacher, even though I'm still in classes, I am a certified teacher. Actually, I have an emergency teaching certification that I just got this year. Because there's such a high need up here in Alaska, I was able to get an emergency teaching certificate, which is awesome. And I was in the classroom for half of the year, and now I'm like an interventionist reading specialist, which is awesome. I love that position. Um, yeah, so saying that I'm a teacher, we are going to learn a little bit today. So if you want, you can take notes, or just come back to this video and you want to learn some more. We're going to learn about volume profile today and kind of compare it to a couple of different things. And then we're going to talk about fractals and kind of look at some support levels and kind of just my feelings on Oxygen stock right now, what's going on, what's going to happen, and that's about that. So let's pull this up. Maybe. Not working. Alright, I don't know why it's not letting me pull this up. What's going on? Alright, sorry about that. Got that figured out. I'm probably not gonna edit that out, so sorry about that. I just don't have time to do that. I'm skipping homework right now to make this video for you guys, so please don't get on my case. Okay, let me pull it up to full mode here. Alright, so first we're going to look at volume profile. And if you have Webull, I'll show you how to do it on here, but you can do it on TradingView if you use TradingView as well. You just need to click on indicators and type in volume profile, and it'll pop up there for you. Alright, so, but if you're on Webull, oh yeah, type in fixed range volume profile. That's the one you're going to be looking for on TradingView. You'll just click indicators and type in this one. But on Webull, you just click it here. And we're going to kind of start it here from the low and do it all the way to today. And you can see it goes from the low, shows you the volume from the low all the way up to the high of 72 that we had here. And then it has these 3 different marks here that I changed these colors just to make it a little bit easier to understand. Red is the low, green is the high, and this gold area here, I'll kind of talk about that here in a second. Okay, so this one here, the yellow or gold one here, is the POC, or the point of control. And this is the price where it has like the most trading, right? The most activity has happened or occurred at this price. The highest liquidity and trading volume is right here. So every time it gets to this price, it's bought the most. The more people are holding at this price, right? From, just from our run up, right? If you were to start this back a lot further, of course, this whole volume profile would change. That's how it works. But we're just going from, from very recent times back here to see what the volume profile is. And you can see this is the low, right? This is called the value area low. It's the lowest price level within the range, right? Within the value area, this is called. And then this one, you may have guessed it, is the value area high. And that's the highest price level within the value area. And so kind of just saying where most of the action, most of the volume is going on is in between these levels there. And so you can see that we have bounced off this low here. We did back here and we popped back up, and we touched that here today, and we've kind of shot halfway back up. Okay. So that's how you use the volume profile. You can see that, we're really strong. This is a really strong shelf. And one of the posts that I made, we saw, I had it like a pennant, and I was waiting for a push, but unfortunately it pushed down out of that pennant. But you can see we're kind of still in this channel, and the price pushed back up into the channel, which is awesome. That's good that we're staying within that channel. Alright, so let me show you. What's really interesting about this is if you pull up the Fibonacci, and if you don't know, you start the bottom of your Fibonacci from the lowest low from the last time it went down, right? This is the lowest low. So I'll have to fix that a little later here. And then you take it to the highest high, and now I gotta fix this. And then you can see, right, this is a golden pocket area right here. You can see that it's almost the exact same as the volume profile, which is pretty crazy. Look at that. The low of the volume area low right here is basically right at that golden pocket. Right? That's why we've had so much pushback right here. That's why we turned around right here, and I think we're going to have a little bit push back up, but we'll get to that in here in a second. And you can see that the POC, or the point of control, is almost right here at this mark. So it's just very interesting, right? And then right here, the top one is where we saw this resistance and came back down. So it's just very interesting how you can use these different indicators and find the same thing. Alright, let me clear this up a little bit here. So yeah, that's how you use the volume profile. Remember, you can click up here, fixed range volume profile. You can find the same thing on TradingView or probably any other kind of type of chart you're using. Like here, it's called the fixed range, and you just go to however the range it is, and you can see, and you can kind of use these to say, like, when this was up here and it started coming down, you could say, okay, more than likely we might come back to this low here, the volume area low. And you could have bought a put or whatever if you do that, or you could put a buy, a limit order down here at this mark instead of chasing, right, when it's going up. You don't want to be buying and chasing while it's going up. You could say, okay, if we come back down to this range, which is could happen, right? You never know. If I want to wait for a good buy, that's where I'm thinking I'm going to put it. And you can use the volume profile here that I'm showing you right now to do that kind of a thing. And same thing, you could, if you were a swing trader or whatever, you'd be saying, okay, if I'm buying down here, I may do it right at the volume profile, the POC, because we may bounce off there and go back down. Or the swing trader may say, okay, I'm going to put my sell order back up here because I think we're going to swing back up and we may hit resistance back here. And instead of risking it, riding it to see if it's going to go all the way up, they say, oh, it's pretty safe to put my sell order in here. All right. And I forgot to throw my disclaimer in there, right? I'm not a professional trader or anything like that. I'm just showing you guys what I have learned from doing my own research, and you guys should be doing that on your own too. Don't just listen to what I'm saying and take it for 100%. Everything I'm saying is exactly right, because I'm not a professional. So make sure you do your own research, read lots of articles about this kind of stuff, watch other videos, and see how they compare, right? Don't just take my word for everything that I'm saying. And this isn't financial advice. Okay, so let's move along here. Now I'm going to switch over to TradingView to show you a couple different things. We're going to look at fractals as well to show you guys how you can tell that there may be a trend shift, right? How, points where you can see where it's going to turn around and go down and up. They're called fractals. And if you're on TradingView, you can type in indicators and then just type in fractals and you'll get this. And you'll see all these different triangles. And these are signals that it's showing, right? If you see a green arrow, it's saying more than likely it's going to go down. If the green arrow's on top, it's going to go down, right? Then we had a signal here that it's going to go up. Then it showed a signal here, and then we've gone down, right? They showed a signal here, we went up, but we came back down. So how you can, these signals aren't super fast, right? I've been able to see these turnarounds before even this fractal, this little add-on, has popped them up. And just to test my theory, right, I think we're going to see another red arrow right here. Maybe tomorrow or the next day after that. I bet you anything there'll be a red arrow here. Because what these arrows are marking are fractals, which are a certain kind of candle that usually tell that the market is going to switch directions, or the stock. So the fractals are these candles like this right here, where it's, a little body with these big wicks on bottom and top. That's where the buyers and sellers have a lot of pressure. You're battling, you're fighting over where it's going to go, and it's so strong it compresses right into this little thing, and oftentimes they sit in the middle. When you see something like this, it usually means that it's going to turn around, right? There's going to be a shift in the direction. And you can, oftentimes, especially if you get a few of them in a row like this, it's almost guaranteed you're going to see a turnaround, right? Boom, 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 couple of fractals, we go back up. And it can be the same thing when it goes down. right here, this fractal hit, and it indicated that the market was shifting, going back down, because they were fighting right here again and going back down. Same thing happened here in one of my old videos. I was telling you guys, okay, we're gonna see it's gonna turn up here, and a lot of people didn't believe me. Oh no, it's just gonna keep going down, 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 misery. But when you see these candles, it's letting you know bulls are pushing back. Bulls are compressing, they're pushing, they're giving pressure onto the sellers, and we're pushing back, and it signaled the change. And I told you guys this before this fractal even popped up here, that this was going to happen, and then that's what happened. And you know, not financial advice, I think that's what's going to happen here. We're gonna, you know, granted, it could go back up a little bit into the support area, just like this one, or this resistance area. Sometimes it's support, sometimes it's resistance, but it's been acting as resistance. So it could just be a small push back up to here, and then we go back down. Or it could be a turnaround, and it comes back up to recheck this support and resistance area. But these fractals, and if you're not good at seeing the fractals on your own, you know, that's what can be good, to turn on this little indicator fractal on here, kind of help you. And the more you look at them, and the more you're watching it play out in real time, you will get better at it, right? And you can go, there's even more indicators. If you go to the 1 minute and stuff like that, you'll see there's a million indicators. Sorry, my dog's barking. Right, so you can watch this play out. It would probably stop barking. It would probably be better, you know, in a stock that has more volume, to really see how this works and watch it live. But for now, let's get back to our day. Okay. Alright, so that's fractals, right? And I didn't really show you a whole lot, but go look at any stock and go see, check these kind of candles and see if the market turns around when you see these fractals, okay? I'll let you do that little homework yourself. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a push-up, and it may be something where we get 3 candles like this, right? It may not be tomorrow that we shoot right back up or go up a little bit. We may see a couple fractals here, and then we go back up. Okay, so yeah, talking about these purple rectangles here, these are support and resistance, and I actually made these rectangles before this whole section was even here, and because I was looking at this and I could just see where all the support and resistance was myself, right? I could see, okay, we hit resistance here, then we popped up and it turned into support. It came down, hit support again, back down, and then when we came back up here again, we had a little bit where it bounced in here again, supported a little bit, went up, came down, broke through, and then came back up, and then this area has acted as resistance again. We want to come back up and use it as support. Then we want to shoot back up here and use this area as support, right? That's what we want to see. We want to get back to $1 as quickly as we can, right? Because April, 2-3 months, right? About 90 days or so that we have to get back up to $1. And hopefully we see some sort of news, right? That's going to push us up. If you look at this here, we kind of have fallen down off of this pattern, which I kind of explained what that was in a previous video. This is a mirror, or a flipped image from this side. I've just flipped it over, and it has not, you know, it's kind of cool to see how much it played out. It was following it for a little bit, but then we've dropped down, but the pattern is still kind of looking similar. And you could even do something like this and say, okay, well, maybe we kind of are hitting this little support here, and then we may come back up and go up. But we want to see this happening pretty soon. Hopefully we get some news and we see a big spike going up, right? That's what we all hope for. But you never know. Okay, I'm going to put that back where it was, just because. All right, so another thing that we can look at here, let me zoom back in. I'm going to turn the fractals off. We're going to look at this called volume super trend real quick, and you can see when it's a downtrend, it's in this red, and when it's an uptrend, you get this kind of blue signal signifying a trend change, and then we are in green still. And it's saying we're still bullish, right? Because we haven't seen a lower low from this area right here. We got a higher low today, right? And then we've pushed back up. I'm still going to be bullish on this, right? To me, we're still in this bullish trend, right? Until we see, if we get a lower low, then, I'm going to be more bearish than bullish short term, right? Until we get some news. So keep that in mind. If we end up getting a lower low than this here, that's going to be bearish short term, okay? I'm still very bullish long term here because there's just so much news that they haven't put out yet, and I don't know why. We'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, the super trend is still showing that we're in this bullish uptrend because we haven't made a lower low from this area yet, which means we're still in an uptrend. Okay, because we made a lower high, or a higher low, excuse me. Okay, all right, I'm gonna turn that back off, and then let's just turn this on and see what's going on here. We're still waiting for the 50 to cross the 200. And you can see we kind of came down and it bounced off the 200. We have a lot of support in this area, remember, from our volume profile. We have a lot of support here, so it's gonna be pretty tough for bears to push us back down beneath this area, but it is possible, so be aware. Okay, hopefully, we kind of get back up above the 5 and the 10 here and start finding those as support again and climbing our way back up in the next day or two. Alright, let's turn those back off, and I'll kind of show you this. Let's see, let's draw some trend lines here. That. Let's do this. You can see we kind of have this pennant going here, where we went up, right, we came down, we found resistance or support here on this trend line, we came up, hit resistance on this trend line, came down again, hit support on this trend line, and we'll see what happens next, right? We know that when we get to the end of these pennants, it's usually a pretty significant move up or down. Okay. Alright, so we also need to keep in mind here, let me pull my face back up here if I can. We need to keep in mind that there is a lot of stuff they could say that can make the stock go up. They haven't put out a vote for the reverse split, and I think if they were going to do that, they would have done it by now, right? A couple of those things that I posted saying it takes time, it's a big process to do that. And it takes a while to vote, and sometimes enough people don't vote and they have to do a revote. So companies can't just wait last minute to have something like that. They need to make sure, right? Because if they wait last minute and something happens, then there's a possibility, right, that a delist, right? That's not happening. But if something happens, that, they don't want that to happen. That's why companies have to be on the ball, and if they're going to do something like that, they probably would have already done it, or it would have to happen very soon. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they have some sort of funding, right? We know they have partnerships that they haven't announced yet for whatever reason. They haven't put out PR for the for let me pull it, see if you can see this picture here, right? They haven't announced this. Why haven't they announced this? OCGN partnership with the Telangana government, and they wouldn't be hiring all those people in India for clinical trials and all that stuff if they didn't have funding to do that, right? If they were worried about having to do a reverse split or delisting, I they have so many things that they can just do so that won't happen. So it doesn't make any sense that we would reverse split, because I think even just saying we made a partnership with the Telangana government, that right there could get us back up to $1, right? I think very easily, just that one thing. But we also have many other things that are happening this quarter, right? All the different trials that are supposed to start this quarter. Any one of those announcements, I think, could get us, at least a good 20% at least. And if they announce several after, one after the other, I think that would easily push us back up there. So yeah, why haven't they announced that partnership, and why haven't they announced all the other things that they could be announcing yet to get that share price up? It's very strange that they haven't done that. They're waiting for something, and I know when there's mergers and acquisitions and stuff, companies will often try and not have their stock price go up. So when that announcement comes out, it's not like such a huge. I don't know how to explain it really, but it's best for them to keep their stock low, so it looks like a better price for that larger company. They can basically, that larger company can lowball them more, and they know that, right? That's why if their stock is still low, because they haven't pumped it by saying all these different things they could, it still looks better for these larger companies. It's a better deal for them, right? They could get some company that say, we're going to buy them out for $7 a share, like that guy said. That analyst, he thinks it's worth $7. A company could easily say that and do that, and I don't know, right? That's just a scenario that could happen. I have no idea, but I think a partnership announcement could do similar, right? Could get us easily back up to $1, but they haven't announced it yet for some reason, even though we know that one, right? Even though we know this one is for sure a thing, they haven't announced it, and I think that could make the stock move, and they know that, and they don't want it to move yet for some reason. Okay. Alright, I think this video is probably super long, but I want to say again, I miss you guys, and I miss making these videos. I do really enjoy them, obviously. That's why they end up being so long. This one's 30 minutes. I don't usually want them to be that long, but I actually just enjoy doing this and talking, and I know that it helps you guys, because I've been getting messages which is nice, people saying, I miss your videos, and when are we gonna get another video? And that's cool, right? So I know that I'm helping some people out there, so that's awesome. But make sure you do your own research, um, and make sure you're doing the right thing for you. Okay, guys. Have a good night.